Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm here to talk to you about keeping your computer safe on the internet by using a firewall. A firewall is used to block certain types of connections to a computer. For example, at your campus, a firewall may be set up to allow your laptop or dorm computer to connect to websites out on the internet, but not allow others on the internet to connect to file shares and other resources on your PC. To understand firewalls, you must first understand IP addresses and ports. An IP address is a 32-bit number that is usually expressed as a 4-octet string of numbers. The IP address uniquely identifies your computer on the internet. A port number is used when one computer wants to communicate with a specific service on another computer. If the IP address is like a street address, then the port number is like the name of someone that lives there. For example, if your campus computer wants to ask a server to give you a certain web page, it will send the message to the web server on the port 80. If your computer needs to send an email, it might send a message to port 25 on the server instead. Don't worry, you don't need to remember these port numbers. This is just a simplified example of how ports are used. The firewall looks at the IP address, destination port, source port, and sometimes the contents of the message to decide if it should allow the message to pass. If the firewall has been set to pass the message on, it will let it pass. Otherwise, the message will be blocked. Your campus may be running a network firewall, or you could be using a DSL or cable router that does some firewalling functions. Even if you do, it is a good idea to run what is known as a host-based firewall, because the network firewall may only be blocking attacks from the outside internet and not the local network. In other words, other students may be able to get into your computer. To enable the firewall built into Windows XP, make sure Service Pack 2 is installed. Then double-click the firewall icon under Control Panel. Choose On, and your computer should start blocking certain ports. If an application on your system tries to open a new port, Windows should ask whether or not to allow it. To configure the firewall under Mac OS X, click System Preferences, then Sharing, and then choose the Firewall tab. Click the Start button, and the firewall will be enabled. With a host-based firewall enabled, you'll have an extra level of protection between you and potential attackers on the internet.